Modern smartphone batteries are designed to lose up to 20% of their capacity within just 500 charge cycles. You paid for a device that begins degrading the moment you turn it on. In the next couple of minutes, I will show you exactly how this was engineered and who gets rich because of it. This is not a manufacturing flaw. It is not bad luck. It is a system. And once you see it, you will never look at your phone the same way again. The first smartphones were not designed to fail this quickly. Early devices had removable batteries, thicker frames, and longer lifespans. You could swap a dying battery in seconds and keep the same phone for years. Then something changed. Phones became thinner, sleeker, sealed shut, and suddenly the battery became the one part you could not easily replace. Think of it like a landlord who installs fragile pipes behind sealed walls, not because he cannot build better, but because he will not be paying for repairs. You will. The villain here is not one company. It is an entire industry built around upgrade cycles. Companies like Apple, Samsung, and others report billions in annual revenue from new device sales. In 2023 alone, global smartphone revenue crossed $500 billion. But here is the uncomfortable truth. If your phone lasted 6 years, that number would collapse. So the system evolved, not to break your phone overnight, but to make it slowly feel unusable. Battery life drops, performance slows, charging becomes inconsistent, and eventually replacing the phone feels easier than fixing it. But here's what they never show on the label. The first revelation is this: lithium-ion batteries are consumables by design. Inside your phone is a chemical system that degrades every time you charge it. Each cycle slightly damages the battery's internal structure. It works like bending a paperclip. Do it once, nothing happens. Do it 500 times, it snaps. The consequence is unavoidable capacity loss. After around 500 cycles, your battery holds significantly less charge. And this is where it gets dark. The second revelation is about how that degradation is accelerated. Modern smartphones prioritize fast charging and high performance. Both generate heat. Heat is the enemy of battery health. Imagine running a marathon in a sealed room. You would overheat quickly. That is what your battery experiences daily. Thin designs trap heat. Fast charging pushes more energy through the system, and your battery ages faster as a result. The consequence is predictable. Within 2 years, performance noticeably drops. Nobody sued them. Here's why. The third revelation is software control. Your phone does not just degrade physically. It is managed digitally. Operating systems monitor battery health and adjust performance accordingly. This is like a car engine limiting speed when the fuel system weakens, except you are not told clearly when it happens. In 2017, Apple admitted to slowing older iPhones to prevent shutdowns. This led to lawsuits and settlements worth hundreds of millions. The consequence is subtle. Your phone feels slower, apps lag, and you start thinking it is time for an upgrade. The number I am about to show you will make you angry. Most users replace their smartphones every 2 to 3 years, exactly when battery degradation becomes impossible to ignore. Coincidence? Follow the money, and the pattern becomes clearer. Smartphone companies make the majority of their profits from hardware sales, not repairs, not longevity. A longer-lasting phone reduces repeat purchases. That is a direct threat to revenue, so incentives align in one direction. Shorter, effective lifespan. This is reinforced by design choices. Sealed batteries increase repair difficulty. Specialized tools discourage DIY fixes. Then there is the repair ecosystem. Companies like Apple have historically restricted third-party repairs. Parts pairing and software locks limit independent fixes. Lobbying also plays a role. Organizations representing tech companies have opposed right-to-repair laws in multiple countries. These laws would make repairs easier and cheaper. In the United States, states like New York passed partial right-to-repair legislation in 2022. But loopholes still exist. The system is not hidden. It is documented, it is debated, and it continues because every degraded battery creates a decision point: repair or replace. And the system nudges you toward replace. But the most disturbing part? This was all completely legal. And it still is. Here is the twist most people never consider. Your dying smartphone battery is not just a personal inconvenience, it is a global environmental system. Every replacement phone requires mining, manufacturing, and shipping. That includes lithium, cobalt, and rare earth metals. Cobalt mining alone has been linked to hazardous working conditions in countries like the Democratic Republic of Congo. So when your battery degrades, it triggers demand upstream. More mining, more extraction, and more environmental cost. Now consider the scale. Over 1.5 billion smartphones are sold globally each year. If even half are replaced due to battery degradation, that is hundreds of millions of devices. Each one carries a hidden footprint. Now let's bring it back to you. The average smartphone costs around $800. If you replace your phone every 2.5 years, that is 4 phones in 10 years. That equals $3,200. But if your battery lasted 5 years instead, you would only need 2 phones. That equals $1,600. The difference is $1,600 over a decade. That is enough to cover a vacation, or months of rent in many cities. And this is just one device category. Multiply this across laptops, tablets, and wearables. The cost compounds quickly. So the real price of planned battery degradation is not just inconvenience, it is a quiet, recurring tax on your life. And you have been paying it for years without noticing. So what can you actually do about it? Start with one simple habit. Keep your battery between 20% and 80% whenever possible. Avoid extreme heat, and turn off fast charging when you do not need it. These small changes slow degradation significantly, but more importantly, question the upgrade cycle. Ask yourself if your phone is truly unusable, or if it just feels that way, because that feeling might not be accidental, it might be engineered. And once you see that, you gain something valuable: choice. So here's the question. Do you think companies should be legally required to design replaceable batteries, or is this just capitalism working exactly as intended? Let me know below. Next week, we're looking at something you use every single day, something even more engineered to cost you more than it should. Stay close.